Okay guys, welcome to another slow moving Hatha flow. So remembering that we're not firing up too much energy, we're not getting too ambitious or taking anything too seriously, we're not trying to perfect any poses, we're just being as explorative as possible. So with all that said, let's make sure your mat's rolled out, make sure your space is ready, make sure you've got a block available. We're definitely going to need a block or a pillow or some sort of support for this one. And that's it. So let's just get straight into it. We're going to make our way down onto the mat. We're not going into a reclining position as usual. We're going to start off on our knees here in Balasana or Balasana variation. So let's get into it. We'll be sinking down over the knees, over the heels here. Let's bring the knees out nice and wide. And what I want you to do first is just shift yourself from side to side a little bit. Just let your hips settle into the posture. And I want you to notice what your neck feels like here. So as you shift from side to side, you might be feeling the neck sort of rock from side to side as well. So you'll notice the spine is kind of sort of bending like a snake as we sit into one hip and then the other. Notice how that translates up into the back of the neck. And I quite like to even just let the chin fall down towards the throat and just let it kind of dangle. So we're moving really gently here. Good, and then from here we're going to walk the hands forward, maybe come down onto the elbows. We're going to keep a little bit of energy in the arms. And we're going to gently press the hands into the mat. So it's almost like you're sort of pressing yourself away, or you're pressing yourself back in towards your hips a little bit. And then from here, we're just lowering ourselves down. And then start to find your breath. If you'd like, you can bring hands to elbows, or you can stack the hands on top of one another. And I want you to take your first deep yogic breath in to the front of your body here and feel your ribs flare. And then as you exhale, I want you to feel yourself melt down through that gap in between the knees. Feel that release in the lower back. And you can continue to shift yourself from side to side if you like. But for this exercise, it's nice to stay still, so it's up to you. So, now bring your awareness to the ribs radiating out from your spine, so the back of your body. If you can, try and imagine your shoulder blades softening or separating a little bit. The space between your shoulder blades is softening. Take a deep breath in here. And feel the lungs expand and press into the back of your body. And once again, as you exhale, you're just letting yourself spill down into the mat. Feeling that area in between the hips soften as well. Now with your next breath, I want you to feel your ribs expand outwards. So you should be able to feel your ribs expand into the inner thighs or into the knees. And then give yourself a long exhale. We're going to take 5 breaths here. Try and expand into all 4 corners of the lungs. So you'll feel yourself expanding into the rib cage, separating or radiating out from the ribs, so into the back of the body, as well as breathing in to that space between your ribs and your thighs, and also feeling the chest expand as well, all in one breath, but without being too energetic as well. We're not forcing anything. And then exhaling, melting in, so they're really calming breaths. Breathing in and out through the nose. Let's take 4 more of those. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, long exhale. Really feel the navel draw up towards the spine now. We're going to do 1 more of those. I want you to expand the arms out in front now. Take a deep breath in and feel the back of the body. So you're going to feel your upper spine curl a little bit. And then exhale, soften the elbows, let yourself melt in, and draw the navel up in towards the spine. So really hollowing the belly out here. Let's do 2 more of those. Inhale, press into the palms. Press the hands away from the body. Feel your shoulder blades expand away from the spine. Deep breath into the back of the lungs. And then exhale, let the opposite movement happen. So you'll sort of melt down. Your hips will rock forward and you'll sink down into the pelvis. Last one, inhale, press into the palms. Expanding into the back of the body. And then exhale, lowering yourself back down. And let's come all the way up onto hands and knees here. We're going to bring the knees back underneath the hips, just to set the posture up. Sink back down over the heels. Slide the hands back just a touch. Inhale, what we're going to do here is we're going to come up onto hands and knees. Roll the shoulders back, press the chest forward. But this time we're going to take 2 breaths in this movement. We're going to take a deep breath in. Then you're going to open your mouth, exhale, as you tuck the tailbone under. Let's do 3 more of these. Inhale. Open the mouth, purge it out. Inhale. Same movement. Exhale. Press into the palms. Let the shoulder blades separate here. Last one. Big lion's breath. Inhale. Exhale. Open the mouth. Press as much air out as you can. And coming back to a neutral position now. Let's press down into the knuckles. If you feel the weight in your wrists, try to press down into the knuckles instead. And we're just going to pick one wrist up off the ground, keeping the fingers connected to the mat. And then lower down and pick the opposite hand up. It doesn't matter which side we start on. Rocking from side to side here. And you should start to feel a little bit of warmth in the forearms. And you should start to feel a nice opening out over the forearms and definitely out over the palms. Now we might even try to do 2 at once, which is quite a strong movement. Maybe you just lift the wrists a tiny bit and start to feel that warmth in the forearms here. Maybe you're coming right up onto the knuckles. But protect your hands here, so you're pressing down into the knuckles. And you're softening the elbows a little bit. Take a deep breath in. Good, and then we're going to exhale, sink down. Back down over the heels. Slide the hands back. Palms facing up. Let your upper body sink down over the knees here. We're just going to take 3 breaths. Inhale. Once again, separating between the shoulder blades, exhale. Inhaling. And exhaling. Last one, inhaling. And exhaling. Slide the hands forward. We're coming back up onto hands and knees now. And we're going to tuck the tailbone under and bring the chest forward. Now, if you feel like you're overbearing the wrists and all there, make sure you're pressing into the knuckles. And then we're going to come back down over the heels. Maybe extend the arms out in front even further if you feel you've got the distance, and then we'll come back up onto hands and knees. We're going to exhale as we tuck the tailbone under. So imagine you're trying to lift your pubic bone towards your navel here. Lengthen the back of the neck. We're here for an extra breath. Soften the elbows. And exhale. Once again, really try to press the tailbone towards the toes and extend the arms towards the front of the mat. We've got 2 more of these. Inhale. Exhaling, press the pubic bone towards the navel, then press the chest towards the space in front of you. Inhale. And exhale, sinking back down. Inhaling. Remember, using the exhale to tuck the tailbone and recruit. And we're not clawing the knuckles, pressing down into the knuckles here. Deep breath in. And exhale, lowering down. Let's stay in our little flow here. We're going to come up onto hands and knees. Now your wrists might be right out in front of your shoulders, so you might slide them back a little bit. Reach the right hand forward. This nice little chest opening, shoulder opening movement. Flip the palm up towards the ceiling. Reach all the way up. And exhale as you bring the hand down towards the hip. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, come all the way back down. Inhale, left hand, reaching up. And exhaling. Remember, we're not perfecting, we're exploring. Coming all the way through. Right hand. See how open your chest can get. Soften that elbow a little bit if you like. Brush the palm past the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale. Left side, last time. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale. Inhale. And exhaling. Very nice. Now we might just walk the knees forward, and we don't have to, but we're just going to tuck the toes under and slide the hands back. Coming up into a kneeling position here. So from here, we're going to take another little twist that's very similar in movement. Make sure your toes are tucked, but first, let's do a few little pelvic tilts. So let's take a deep breath in. Feel the chest lift as you inhale. Maybe the right or the left hand, it doesn't matter which one, is on the tailbone here, and the opposite hand is on the navel. Then we're going to exhale. Point your tailbone towards your knees. And feel the navel roll in towards the spine or towards the ribs. Then inhale, release. Feel your pelvic girdle sort of rock forward and back there. You should even feel a nice opening out of the quads here. It's quite big work. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Now get used to what that exhale feeling feels like. Get used to that exhale or that sensation of contraction there. We'll do one more. Inhale. So the belly softens. Exhale, the belly firms. Now stay with it. To keep the belly firm, we want to breathe into the upper body here. So we're going to continue to breathe into the chest. Try not to belly breathe too much. Bring the left hand to the left hip or the lower back. Or just below the lower back really, the soft part or your fleshy part of your sit bones there. We'll reach the right hand out. Same little movement. Flip the palm over, open the chest. And we're reaching for the right heel as we exhale. Inhale. Coming all the way back up. And then coming back down. Inhale, left side. Twisting. We've got this nice axis going on here because my spine is nice and straight. I'm keeping the tailbone tucked. And we may not touch the heel with the hand, that's fine as well. We might get to here, and that's totally cool. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhale. Right side. Just exploring. Remember, we're not too ambitious in these slow flow classes. Inhale. And exhale. Inhaling. And exhale. Coming back up. And all the way over. Now, slide the hands down the sides of the body here and draw the chin in towards the throat. Try to lengthen the crown of your head towards the ceiling as far as you can. Keep your upright posture engaged here, and then just rock the right ear over towards the right shoulder. But while you do so, press the left fingertips down towards the left knee so you feel that lovely big opening out over the side of the neck. Coming back up. And then we'll come over to the left-hand side. Once again, press down through the fingertips of the right hand. Imagine you're trying to touch your knee. Keep the tailbone tucked. And then try to press your right ear towards the ceiling. And come back up now. And coming over to the right hand side. Now I can actually feel there's more tension on my right side here. Deep breath in. Long exhale. Inhale, come up. And coming over. And as soon as I bring my left ear towards my left shoulder, I feel that lovely opening out over sort of the trapezius, out of the throat. As I reach my fingertips towards the knee and lift my right ear. I'm taking a deep breath in and a long exhale. Coming back up to a neutral position now. Slide the hands down. Come forward. And depending where you are, we're going to keep the toes tucked. You might need to walk the knees back a little bit. We're going to keep the toes tucked. And we're going to sink back down over the heels, but keep your arms active here. Take a deep breath in. Come up onto hands and knees. Now we're taking downward dog, but once again, we're not getting too crazy with our downward dog. We're lifting the knees and keeping the knees nice and bent. If you need to walk the feet in a little bit, then do so. I suggest having the feet a little bit wider than the hips. Press down through the knuckles, just like we practiced before, and start to walk out through the heels a little bit. Remember, we're not trying to do these Instagram beautiful poses, guys. Just exploring. What does it feel like? What's your shape look like? A couple of breaths here. Don't worry about it too much, how many breaths you're doing. Try to just breathe long and slow. Notice where the weight's stacking in your shoulders, your wrists. And come back to a neutral position now. Come back down to the knees. Untuck the toes. Sink back down over the heels here. We're going to slide the hands back and lower the bridge of the nose or the crown of the head down to the mat here, lengthening out over the back of the neck. And we're also going to bring the hands to the hips here, palms facing up or to the lower back. That might be as far as we go. We might lift the shoulders away from the mat. Take a deep breath in. We might bind the fingertips. We're definitely staying grounded through the crown of the head or bridge of the nose if you're propping your head up on something. Wherever you are, we're just going to take one deep breath in and take an opening into the chest, whatever that might look like. Perfect. We're going to release and then come up onto hands and knees once more. We're going to extend the right leg here and just press into the heel and dorsiflex back on the toes, and then press the toes down into the mat. So you feel it all switch on all along that right side of the body. Deep breath in, long exhale. Inhaling. Now let's exhale. Step the right foot through. Perfect. From here, we're just going to bring the chest forward, rock into the posture, just set ourselves up for the posture. Let yourself sink down into the lunge there. If your knee's right out over the heel, you might bring the foot forward. And then exhale. Not a huge hamstring stretch, more of a spinal opening. So we're just letting ourselves melt down over. Big bend in the knee here. Let's repeat. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. exhale. Inhale. And we'll hold the posture here. Now hopefully you can see my left hand is underneath my left shoulder and I'm bringing my right hand up to my right knee. Option to place the palm down onto the mat, or you can stay on the fingertips. Otherwise, I'm just starting to put some pressure down through this right hand, which is lifting my right shoulder up above my left shoulder, so I'm stacking here. Now, we don't want to get too crazy looking up over the shoulder just yet. So we might just be looking out over, maybe out over your right knee there. What we're going to do from here is bring the right knee forward a touch, and then tuck the tailbone a touch so we can get that nice length into the left hip flexor as well. Now, we're taking 3 breaths here. If you want to look up over the shoulder, you can, but we're not crunching into the ear. Try to keep the neck long. Perfect. Inhale. Exhale. Try to keep the weight through that front foot level or equal. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come back to a neutral position. Drop this right hand back down on the outside of the right leg. Now this is optional, but if you feel you're up to it, we can give it a go. We can tuck the left toes and just press into the left heel and lift just to take the tension off that left knee. Now press the crown of the head towards the space in front of you. Get as long as you can into the posture. Inhale and lower down. Untuck the toes. Slide back and sink down. We'll come back up. Extend the right leg. Take your time here. Optional, come up. Option 2, come up onto the fingertips of the left side and step through. And let's take this nice little forward and back movement. It's nice to use the inhale breath to come forward and the exhale breath to sort of melt down over the thigh. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, coming back. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Let all your body weight melt down. Inhale, coming back up. Stacking this knee on top of the left heel. Bringing the left hand up to the left knee. That might be as far as we go. You might bring the hand down, you might not. Either way, we're starting to put a little bit of pressure down into this left hand to help us stack the shoulder here. I'm pressing my pubic bone forward and I'm tucking my tailbone a little bit, so it's all scooping under. Now, find your neck and make sure it's not falling down towards the shoulder or hunching in. Find length in the neck and then start to pivot or swivel your chin up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in here and a long exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. Last one, deep breath in. Bring this left foot back down, left hand back down to the left foot. Tuck the right toes. Now we have the option here, you don't have to, if it doesn't feel right, to press into the heel, lift the knee. Take a deep breath in, long exhale. Inhale, and we'll lower back down. This time I'm going to slide this left foot back. You're going to keep both toes tucked, sink down over the heels, setting yourself up for a downward dog. We're going to inhale, come up. Exhale as if your tailbone is lifting you towards the ceiling and the rest of the body is just following the tailbone. And then sink down to the heels a little bit. Once again, we're not getting too crazy. Take a deep breath in Now start to walk towards the wrists here. You can take one big step if you like. Now, here's where we need your block. I suggest having it on at least the lowest or medium setting. And we're just going to start to walk out through the heels. And you don't need the block at all sometimes, like if you have the mobility, but it's nice to have it nearby. So bending one knee and straightening the other. And let your hips just rock from side to side here. And we're sort of going to put it all together here. So we're going to turn this into a little bit of a twist as well. So what we will do, this is pretty complicated, is we'll bend into the left knee and press down into the right foot. Straightening that leg but not locking the knee. Then we're going to, this is where you probably need the block, reach the right hand out and all the way up. Now you can be just doing it with your elbow if you have any restrictions in your shoulders, and then bringing it down to the hip. Let's inhale, roll the palm open and then come all the way through, swapping sides here. Reaching out. That's it, coming all the way down. Inhaling. And coming back. One more on each side. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Coming back up, inhaling, and exhale, coming all the way back down. Moving this block out of the way, coming back down onto hands and knees. You don't have to step back far because we're coming straight down into a sitting position. Once again, you can have a block for this one if you like. In fact, I recommend sitting yourself up on a block. We're coming into a forward fold, but it's going to be a really restorative forward fold here. So we're not pulling on the hamstrings too much. We're just lowering ourselves down. So let's go for it. We'll bring the hands back, sort of just behind the knees. Use that little bit of tension between the mat and your fingers as you press down to roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. And then let your lowest ribs melt down over the knees here. And then the rest of your body will follow. Your shoulder blades will separate. And now we're breathing into the back of the body just like we did at the beginning. And just like we did at the beginning, you can even put a little bit of pressure down through the palms, which will help separate the shoulders a little bit, and then inhale in to the ribs in the back of your body. Let it swell as you inhale, and exhale, let yourself melt in. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. You should start to feel this really nice release in the lower back as your exhale sort of guides you further and further forward. Now I'm not feeling anything in the hamstrings here, it's all in the upper body. Exhale. Let's hold for 3 breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhaling. Inhale, exhale, slide the hands back, sit yourself forward, coming off the block. Get this block out of the way and lowering down. Feet just behind the hips, gentle twist. Now it doesn't matter how far apart your feet are here. Do what works for you. Move it around a little bit. Try different alignments. Maybe the feet are together. Maybe they're really far apart. Maybe you're not even twisting. Maybe you're just laying there with your knees stacked. Very nice. We'll come back to a neutral position. Put a little bit of pressure down through the spine into the mat. Then bring the knees in towards the body. Hands to knees. A few little circles here, just to make sure there's no tension left in the lower back. And going in opposite directions and shifting directions whenever you're ready. Once again, we're pretty intuitive in these classes. We're not worrying too much about perfecting. That's it. Take a deep breath in. Give yourself a squeeze, exhale. Inhale, one more. Exhale. And release. And let your legs extend. Make sure you're putting support anywhere where you need it. If you need to prop your head up, if you need to elevate your knees, if you need to separate your feet a little bit wider than the hips, that's recommended. Let your arms settle down into a comfortable position. Let go of the weight of your body completely. Let your breath settle in. Maybe just give yourself a soft gaze here. And just finding a drishti gaze, just finding a point on the ceiling or whatever you're looking at, and just fixate yourself on that point. Let it become your whole focus, your whole world. Let everything else fade away around you. Notice how the mind will sort of become clear as you find a focus. See if you can maintain that concentration just for a few moments, a few breaths. Don't let your eyes shift from that point. The breath is fully softening. And stare softly at your drishti point. Imagine your eyes softening back into your head. And that rippling out down through your face so everything's softening. Ripples down through your spine, through your legs. And close the eyes completely. And reopen your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And a long exhale through the mouth. Start to move your body around a little bit. Reawaken the self here. And make your way up into a seated, cross-legged position. And bring your hands to heart center. We'll seal our practice, as always, with some gratitude for ourselves, our bodies, each other, our ability to change and learn and grow and adapt, for the food we eat, the water we drink, and the air we breathe. Let's all take a deep breath in. Namaste.